This episode of the Lured Up podcast is brought to you by our Patreon. Everything we do here at the Pokemon Professor Network is powered by our community. You could join our community of supporters on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and we offer a range of support tiers with various benefits, and all patrons will gain access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people, and we currently have a goal of hitting $500 in patron support, and you can help us out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor. With tiers as low as $1 a month, you can support a collective of hardworking, part-time creators that have a passion for Pokemon, the community, and podcasting here at the Pokemon Professor Network. Let's get into it.
Pokemon.
What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 326 of the Lured Up podcast, where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. This episode is streaming live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm your host, Ken Pescator. That's Adam Tuttle. Adam, yo ho ho, hello.
Hey, trainers.
What's happening,
it's me.
man?
It's Adam.
What's going on?
Not too much.
That is good. That is good.
Well, right now, I'm chomping at the bit. I just want to talk about Gigantamax. Like that's the only reason
We're gonna get into it. It's a big one, man. It's gigantic. No, that's gonna be
it's gigantic.
That will definitely be the.
Wait, did you say Niantic or gigantic?
It is a Niantic something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. But we'll dig into it. We have lots to unpack when it comes to Gigantamax.
Did you bring your golden shovel?
Dude, let me tell you.
Is it made of netherite? Did you bring your netherite shovel?
But no, we got plenty to talk about. We'll recap the last week of gameplay, including Halloween Part 2 that we're in right now. Of course, the launch of Gigantamax. We have the updates coming to GMAX Gengar. We'll get into that. We have our November update, and it keeps the momentum going that we've seen through the Max Out season. And it proves that everything that we see in this game comes back around, i.e. Elite Raid Pokemon. So we'll talk about that. Go Battle Weekend is up next, followed by the Harvest Festival. We'll run through both of those. The third Max Out Pokecoin Bounty is here, and it's more of the same, which is a good thing. And then finally, we'll deep dive into Gigantamax. We'll talk about how it impacts communities, how communities of different sizes are able to engage with the mechanic, if at all. And, really it's all about playing in person. So we'll kind of talk about this really cool social experiment that we'll be doing in New Hampshire by Adam, where it's nice and rural. We'll dig into that. Shout out to everyone who's here in the chat early. Maddie G, Dead Superhero here. What's happening? Dead Superhero says, I've been waiting for Adam's gigantic take. They're ready for you, man. They are ready for the take. I can't wait. No, but how's your week, man? How have you been? Let's catch up with life and all that good stuff. How's your week been?
It's been good. We got trick-or-treating tomorrow.
Are you dressing up?
I'm not dressing up. I really kind of low-key wanted to dress up like Wolverine, just to dress up like something.
Would you do the pork chops? Would you shave the pork chop?
I would, and then I feel like when my hair is wet and I can do the curl. So nice. I felt like I could do it. I could pull off just like the wife beater that with the jeans, that outfit,
And your son is being?
My son is going as War Machine.
Oh wow!
He's got that helmet that you push the side. It's like it's pretty epic.
That's amazing. I am not dressing up. I was a little bummed that this month has just been like a whirlwind for me, so I haven't been able to do any real fun stuff. It's just been a little crazy with work and life and all that stuff. Really cracking down and getting a lot going with the network, so it's just been super busy. I wanted to do a Jay and Silent Bob type thing with Sarah, and we just couldn't pull it off. She ended up getting this whole Slytherin head to toe school garb, so she's gonna go as a Slytherin. I told her she has to speak in parcel tongue to everyone, and instead of saying trick or treat, she has to just hiss at them or something like that. But no, I'm excited because this is the first year that we're in our new house, and we're smack dab in the center of suburbia here, so it's like there's kids everywhere. Where we were last time, we didn't have any trick-or-treaters. In the hood, there's not a lot of trick-or-treaters coming out at night, but in Belford, New Jersey, you better believe there's going to be kids all over this neighborhood, so super psyched up for all that. Joe in the chat says, dressed up as a leaf peeper? That's right. Like, where's the beef, lady?
I'll wear my binoculars.
I'll just walk up to people's windows. Any leaves in there? I'm peeping. No, it's going to... It's going to be good. No, I'm excited.
That's just a peeping Tom, in case you're wondering.
Yeah. We bought our Halloween candy today, though, to give out, and we went old school. We got, like, lemon heads and jawbreakers and, like, all, like, the old, like, chewies and stuff, like, all the old school stuff. I'm kind of like if I have to, of course, Reese's peanut butter cups, right? That's the jam. But, like, I'm a Whopper and Milk Dud kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little weird with that, but I like some of the classics. Movie theater.
Charleston Chew.
Charleston Chew. Yes, give me $100,000. Give me $100,000. I'm into that.
No,
what about Sugar Daddy? I need a Sugar Daddy. Honestly, I need a Sugar Daddy in my life right now. That'd be fantastic. Be amazing. That'd be amazing. Boston baked beans. I know Boston baked beans.
Boston baked beans are good. Yep.
So
candy
amazing.
Corn. That's a staple. Amazing. It's a staple.
But all right. Well, we got Halloween this week. That's going to be exciting.
We had our housewarming party on Saturday, and it was wonderful. Thank you to my entire family who showed up and friends
nice.
who showed up, because it really made the house feel like a home.
That is amazing. That's excellent.
That's what we did.
That's good.
And it was a lot. It was a lot.
Maybe I should do that.
That many people could fit into the house, but they did.
That bathroom was working overtime. It's typical.
Actually, it wasn't that bad, honestly. But everyone had a good time, and I was able to catch up with Raber. He showed up after. He was part of the after party.
The late after, the much later.
Yeah, and it was just nice that him and I could walk the neighborhood. Chanel came with us, and like we just walked, and he kind of got a vibe for how actually rural this is.
Well, how far is he from where you are?
I think 30 minutes.
Okay. So within a 30-minute swing, you can go from somewhat suburban to like super rural, right? Like in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to be getting a crash course on New Hampshire geography, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But I was looking at some pictures. I was kind of driving the Google car around Jamal style, and it's pretty barren. It's pretty barren up by you, man. It's like trees.
There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of trees.
And very small roads. Like a lot of times the trees are so big that you don't even see the roads. And you're like, wait a second, I thought this is where people lived. And it's like their houses are covered by trees. The roads are covered by trees. You just don't see anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, you do the full circle, and like you look at the houses, and it's like, oh, they're behind all the trees.
All right. Well, I want to start off today's show with kind of blitzing through the news, blitzing through the information that we have, our recap.
We have to start with Gigantamax battles happened. You can say, Adam, how many do you have?
Adam, how many do you have?
I have 0.
Okay.
Now, I can't say I didn't try, because I did, but it was just the one.
Did you really though? Did you really try?
And it was just with Raber. But it was fun to dip my toes in.
To see the lobby.
I got eaten alive, but it was nice to see. And it made me have to rethink about how I play this game. And we'll get into that later. I just wanted to say I don't have any. Ken, did you catch any?
I did. So, all right, we'll recap. We're in the Halloween Part 2 event right now. Lots of costumes, all that stuff. We don't need to really dig in.
We don't even need to talk about the costumes.
We do need to talk about the costumes.
Yes,
Dude,
yes, I got first place in 2 different ones with a Rowlet and a Froakie. And I got second place for the other one, but we don't want to talk about that one.
All right. Well, if you
looking
go
in my
to,
inventory after the event after it happened, one that I just caught was an extra large.
Nice.
And it was the biggest one, so I was like, I would have won. It's just funny.
But I had a pretty active weekend of gaming. On the Saturday, I played in Red Bank, New Jersey for our community ambassador activation at Marine Park in Red Bank. If you go to PokemonProfessor.com, wrote up a little blog about it, put a lot of extended thoughts I had on the feedback of the event. How I thought it went.
You didn't get the thoughts from me though.
Well, no, I didn't get the thoughts from you. This was all me. Talked about, I'm pulling up on screen. I did 12, 9, 10, 12 that day because I had 2 run on me. But did get a shiny Charizard, which was very nice. My son got the shiny Venusaur. That was a lot of fun.
Wow.
But I recommend everyone takes a look at this blog that I wrote up because I touch on a lot of things here. And we're going to get into it later in the episode, but we will. When New Zealand and Australia first had the launch, the feedback was generally negative, and you had some creators, mainly Fleece King, that kind of jumped on and said, like, look, this is a slap in the face. This is super insulting. We can't do this. It was wild, and as far as I'm concerned, as a creator, embarrassing to hear kind of that perspective about this, especially from one of the most elite players in the game that has such a robust community in Sydney. I was very shocked that he took that perspective and kind of set that tone for his community and his, with such a big reach. It's kind of a negative perspective. I was very, very surprised and definitely sad about it, to the point where when I was in Red Bank and we were playing, and after we did our first one, everyone was kind of looking at each other like, what? Wait, what? I don't understand. What's the hoopla? Littlest Sparkle in the chat says, how do I connect my Amazon Prime? You just do that you have
to go do it web browser.
You have to go through the web browser to do that. Because if you have Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, which means you get a free Twitch subscription every month. And we'd love it if you gave it to us.
Which you could use it on us.
But yeah, no. So,
or your favorite content creator. We won't be.
Yeah, rotate it, spread the love. We're gonna definitely dig in to our feedback and our thoughts and all that stuff towards the end. So I won't take too much time. But on Sunday, I traveled up to North Jersey, a little bit North Jersey, to Nutley, New Jersey, for another community ambassador activation.
You didn't even giggity that?
And Nutley. And 235 campfire check-ins at this event,
wow,
which was unbelievable. Wrote a lot of feedback.
What did you get when you checked in on Campfire?
You got 800 max particles. So everyone that checked in on Campfire got an additional GMAX rate in that day. It was amazing. So awesome. Definitely cool. DJ Pokemon says, New Zealand and Australia have significantly smaller population. Agreed. I understand. That makes total sense. But, lowly old podcasters can get, groups of people together, and we'll talk about it because, as an influencer, as a creator, whatever you want to call it, we do have a certain responsibility to be honest, and we do have a certain responsibility to be positive, unless that's your shtick. And if that's your shtick, go for it. Sell it, right? The JREs of the world make their brand by, poo-pooing all over everybody's good times. But I think it's very... Dude, I'm not even going to go into his tweet today about what he saw in the data mines. It's just so ridiculous, like telling Niantic, like, oh, you guys must be desperate for money. It's like, bro, what are you talking... Get real, bro. Get real. But no, we'll dig into Gigantamax. Christmas is coming. And
there are Pokemon Go gift cards at Walmart now.
Dude, I have not been to a Walmart, but when we talk about our little social experiment that we're going to be doing, one of the things that kind of motivated me to want to organize here was how Niantic explained that 90% of the U.S. population lives within 10 miles of a Walmart. So to me, what that says is 90% of Pokemon Go trainers have probably been to Walmart. So if they know where a Walmart is and it's only 10 miles away, the ask of getting a community together would be, can you drive 10 miles? So we'll definitely dig
Can you
into
get
it.
to Walmart? We'll get some snacks. We'll get some lunch
Chances
at
are,
the Walmart.
chances are around Walmart, you'll be able to see one or two power spots. That's the point.
We'll get some Halloween cookies, 50% off.
And we'll dig in. But no, we are in Halloween part 2. So let's recap. Let's get through the news. Let's get through all the current stuff so we can dig in. Adam, I cannot wait to hear you rant about Gigantamax because you sent me these texts the other night, and it was very long texts from Adam that I usually don't get, and I was like, yo, he's definitely feeling it. So I want to dig into that. DJ Pokemon in the chat saying, sure, but trying to sell this as a feature challenge mode is so disingenuous. It's just tap, 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 but with a requirement for more people. See, that's not true. That's not true. I'll push back on that a little bit because this isn't something like a 20-person Tier 5 raid or a Legendary raid or a Mega raid where you don't even have to look at the phone. You could just tap away and call it a day. This, even when you have 30, yeah, this, even if you have 30 people, does require a significant amount of strategizing, team building, and all that stuff. So we'll definitely dig into it.
Can I just say how satisfying it is to battle a 1-tier max battle
and be like, I did it,
and just be like, I did it.
Well,
it's like a rarity that you get your charge move off, and it faints before you Dynamax.
Oh, it's yeah. So that's your challenge? You're setting your own challenge up.
You just need the fast attack.
That's funny. Well, dude, I have not done a single Dynamax raid since Gigantamax. I haven't done any. I didn't do any Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday because I'm using all of that particles to power up my GMAX. Yeah. So but that changes things.
I know, but if the whole point is to interact with the game and be playing the game and have it in your face and have Pokemon Go open and you spend more time in it, I don't know.
That's the strategy, and again, the immersion of the strategy changes because you have to figure out, what am I going to do with my resources? Do I want to do a tier 3? Do I want to do a tier 1 and maybe power up a little bit? Dude, it's phenomenal. Everything about this is great. I really can't wait to dig in. But let's get through Halloween part 2. That's where we're at right now. We got all the costume. Froakie, Rowlet are the new ones. Gigantamax Gengar coming on Sunday. And we're going to get into the changes, the preemptive changes that Niantic has made to that. But this is going...
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
I thought it was the 31st.
Is it?
Is it not the 31st?
No, it is not the 30th. Oh, no, it is the 31st. My bad. The 31st through November 3rd. But, all right, so let's talk about this. So we got the Froakie, we got the Rowlet. Those are great. The shinies look phenomenal with the little hat on it. It's great. Seeing which hat Pikachu is great. Raids. Are you doing raids for them? Yeah. Dude, I've done plenty of 1-stars.
Well, you say that, but really what I'm raiding for is for Morpeko.
Sure. Oh, so for the complete 2 raids task.
I'm raiding just to raid as if like I don't care what the Pokemon is. It's the only raid. And like, can we just talk about for a second that like we have so many like battle and a raid tasks and we have no raids. I don't know if you mean no feel raids? The same way or I don't see raids often. I see more max battles on my map than any raids.
Because in most areas, again, New York City, it's not like this, but in most areas, suburban, urban, rural, you're going to have a higher volume of power spots than actual gyms. So you may see more on your nearby for max battles than you would for raids.
Because I don't even have a gym on my map.
Yep.
I have 2 max battle power spots and a Pokestop, or 2 Pokestops.
So we got double catch candy, shiny Zorua in the wild. Still don't have one. My son caught one yesterday. It was so funny. We were driving in the car. I was driving him on the way to school, and it's like 6:50 in the morning, and he has Rayquaza as his buddy, and pulls it up. And he's like, "This is the one. Watch." He's just goofing off. He's like, "This is going to be the one." Boom, shiny Zorua. We went ballistic in the car. It was amazing. So much fun. But yeah, still don't have one for me. Still didn't get that shiny Spiritomb either. I've seen very few of the Win 3 raid tasks. Plenty of Morpeko, but very few on the the Win 3.
As soon as you said that, I haven't seen one since.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen one.
Yep, but
And I've been
plenty of
spinning.
I haven't really hatched much stuff to get that Pichu, but Vulpix with the
I did have
costume.
Pichu.
Nice. Yeah, I'm on that single incubator grind, bro. I'm still taking it slow with that.
Same.
But plenty of costumes in the wild as well, and in eggs, in raids. There was free timed research continuing over from Halloween Part 1, the $5 one, same thing with the Hangry Mode 1Z and the costumes and all that kind of stuff. There was plenty to spend money on and all that good stuff. So now, Gigantamax Gengar notwithstanding, how has the Halloween event been for you, considering that you're not necessarily like a costume Pokemon chaser?
It's honestly because the Go Plus is going. It's literally just filling up my box, and it's like it's causing such confusion in my brain because it's like, do I need it? No. Do I need it for the contest? Yes. So I have to hold on to the extra large or the extra larges, and it's like now that the contest is done, now I can go through them and delete them all. It's just weird. It just feels weird deleting because you get the prompt that's like, you have some extra smalls, some extra large, and some event Pokemon. It's just like, okay, I'll leave them out. You deleted one Pokemon. That's literally the worst. That's literally the worst.
Yeah.
It's such a bad feeling. So I'm just like, everything? I don't care.
So,
but I'm as far as like shinies or anything, I don't know. Give me a second.
All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna pull up my phone here and look at shiny wise. I got the Pumpkaboo. I got a small Pumpkaboo and a Vulpix, which is my second Vulpix, which is nice that I got, and a random Drifloon as well. But the Pumpkaboo was a nice one. I was pretty fired up about this. This is a good one. But I've mastered the ability, and I'm just gonna pull up my Pokemon sort by recent. I did a text replacement for TTT for transfer, TTT, and it puts in this nice long search string that I put in here that pretty much removes absolutely everything that I would want to get rid of. So it makes it very easy for me. However, the game hates recognizing event and costume Pokemon. Sometimes it doesn't work, so got to be careful when I'm transferring out of here. But, I'm on this 5-day purge of transferring Pokemon. New subscriber, Littlest Sparkle, she figured out how to get Prime attached to it. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you so much. But no, I'm enjoying this event. This is always a good time. I think that this event, more than others, has a lot going on, right? You've got encounters, you got field research, you got raids, you got eggs, you got all this stuff going on.
Shiny Grimer, that's all.
Then now on top of it, you also have Gigantamax Gengar. So we saw the Kanto starters. They were brutally hard. Again, we'll get into that. Rightfully so. There was even, I put up a video on Twitter that when I took my group photo in Red Bank, I was just like, yo, what do you think? Are Gigantamax raids too hard? And everyone was making jokes like, no, make them harder, because I even think they could be harder. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of flack for that. But
you've already got the flack from me right there, because if two people can't take it down, it's too hard.
Stick to Megas, bro. Stick to Megas. That's a good duo.
I'm joking, by the way.
No. But no, I'm having a lot of fun with this. But Niantic support put out a tweet talking about some updates that are coming to Gigantamax Gengar, and I put a blog together on PokemonProfessor.com talking about these changes. And here's what it comes down to. This is what it says. It says Niantic, and we can confirm this with Niantic, so this is true. Extra Stardust. Niantic will be adding 25,000 Stardust as a reward for each completed Gigantamax Gengar. And I put some reasoning in here, and this was the feedback that we shared with Niantic. I go, Gigantamax Pokemon end up being some of the most resource-heavy Pokemon in the game if you want to power them up, because you're spending Dust, you're spending Candy, potentially Candy XL, and you're spending Max Particles. So you're spending 4 currencies that normally if you're just doing a mega, the mega energy is not a purchasable currency. So you're from a dollar and cents perspective and from a resource perspective, the Gigantamax Pokemon are pretty pricey. So 25,000 extra dust helps you defeat these Gigantamax Pokemon and make some of that resource back, which is very, very nice, especially if you're doing like a run of
I
them.
like that. I like that change.
Yeah, I like it. The next is increasing the catch rate. And I wrote here, having a GMAX Pokemon run on you after a battle is a feel-bad moment. I had 2 of them run on me, and it was horrible. It's like we went through all this coordination, we did all this stuff, and then just to have it run, bad. It's a total feel-bad moment. Now,
well, you just got to get good trainer.
This is true. But the fact that you don't lose the max particles if you lose or fail the max battle, amazing.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I'll put this on you. Do you think that would be something that you would want to see with raid passes? If you
100%.
So
yep.
You go in
it feels bad. I tried to do an Umbreon and I got distracted and forgot about it, and it's like, you know.
Yeah, but if you got distracted, that's on you.
Yeah, but if I got distracted versus a max battle.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No. So getting that back is great, because there was plenty of times where I would join lobbies, people would jump out at the last moment, the strategies weren't right. Halfway into the battle, you're like, yo, everyone is dropping like flies. There's no way we can beat this. Let's just back out. And knowing that you could do that kind of stress-free was awesome. Everyone was very, very appreciative of that. So making the catch rate better, Niantic wanted to make sure that if you're putting in the effort to take one of these things down, that you don't have to stress about it running away. Is there a chance that it'll still run away? Sure, but they're gonna, they're increasing the catch rate. And mind you, all of these changes are isolated to Gigantamax Gengar. So whether or not this is going to carry forward, there's been no confirmation of that. So just be aware. And then the next one is a difficulty nerf. And I wrote, the difficulty for Gigantamax Gengar will be slightly adjusted to make the encounter easier compared to other Gigantamax encounters. So compared to other Tier 6, like the Kanto starters, Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard, Gigantamax Gengar will not be as difficult. Now, they say they want Gigantamax to still be the high bar, right? They want the bar to be set high for meaningful challenge in the game, and that makes total sense. However, they want to have everyone have a reasonable chance to defeat Gigantamax Gengar. So what does that mean? I don't know. They confirm that you're still going to need to strategize. You're still going to need to power up your Pokemon, all that stuff. But they want a wider range. They want to bring the accessibility to a wider scope of trainers to bring people into the mechanic. And this kind of gets me back to what I was saying about Fleece King. How he comes out on TikTok or wherever he put it and is just ripping the mechanic apart, saying it's a slap in the face that 40 trainers couldn't beat it. And I saw the effects of that in Red Bank, New Jersey, because we're texting people like, yo, where are you at? And they're responding like, oh, I heard online that these things are so hard, I didn't even want to bother. And it's just like, dude.
And you saw, because I had you join the Facebook group that has the chat and for my area, and nobody thought that they could get enough people.
Right.
Like you saw it, like it's a real thing, because whatever somebody says at the beginning, that's how the rest of the world takes it. Like,
sure,
do it too hard.
And again, this is the responsibility of the creator, of the influencer, to at least, if nothing else, be like as objective as possible. Because if you're telling people 40 people can't do this, it's a load of crap. And it does nothing but hurt the community, hurt the game, hurt the amount of people that are coming out to activations. it helped no one. It helped absolutely no one. There's ways to be, and then he would like Fleece would bash Niantic, saying that it's a slap in the face and totally insulting, and then try to like, bring everything back to center at the very end by going like, here's my constructive criticism. Let us remote them. It's like, bro, are you still on that? Like, are people really still complaining about, IRL raids?
If this is my one humongous plea, is that if you make these remotable, that will ruin everything that these max battles have created.
Agreed.
It is like having raids for the first time.
Yep.
And then doing the remote. So do not
I agree.
Make these remotable. Please, for the love of everything. It gets me out. It makes me want to interact with the game more. Raids just feel like a luxury.
Yeah.
And that's and just in general, like I did a dark ride today because it was at my work. That is the only reason. I didn't go out of my way. I will go out of my way for a score bunny right now.
See,
I need those Candy XL.
You are the minority, man. And I love it. I think you provide great counterpoints, and I know it's only going to get even stronger when we get there. But
like, it's
I agree with you. Remoting this, forget it. It would destroy the mechanic.
Ruin.
It would destroy the mechanic. So there will be changes to Gigantamax Gengar. So if you're one of those people that has heard from the internet or heard from an influencer that these things are too hard, and that kind of deterred you from going out for Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Gengar will be easier. You're going to get better bonuses. The catch rate is more favorable. All this stuff is happening to entice you to come out. I knew out of the gate that no matter what, Niantic was going to be paying close attention to everything, right? They were going to monitor lobby sizes, completion rates, attrition rates, like all that stuff. Like, obviously, they're paying a close mind to this. And they're going to do the same thing for Gengar. So if you want to make an impact, you have to show up. You have to show up, because that's what's going to dictate. Niantic will be able to extrapolate the data and make sense of it all to say, we need to make further adjustments for Toxtricity or whoever, whatever else is coming down the pipeline. Giggity. So, I think it's very important to say that this is a new way to play, and it brings up the conversation, which we'll touch on in a bit, of does every mechanic have to be for everyone? When Niantic is offering this red carpet for trainers to say, we've got stuff for you to do on your own, we've got stuff for you to do with 2 people, 5 people, 8 people, and now 15 to 20 people. And
15 to 20.
Dude, and it's not that crazy of a jump from needing 7 to 10 people to do a primal. It's just the natural progression of difficulty. So I don't see what the hoopla is, and you know what? I don't know. I just don't get it. We're going to get back to that. Let's get through November. Let's get through the first week. We got Harvest Festival and all that stuff. Let's talk about it. But really quick, on Twitter, they put up the November content update. As you can see, Regieleki, Regidrago, and Dynamax Drillbur leading the charge. So Adam, do you even have Regieleki and Regidrago in your decks, I remember you being so salty on these elite raids. You have them? Let me see what I got. Let me see what I got. I
have one Regidrago and I have 2 Regieleki, but because it'll tell you remotely caught from London.
Hold up. Let's see. I'm gonna bring up my phone
London,
here as well.
England, United Kingdom. Caught in a raid in Laconia, and remotely caught my Regidrago in Osaka, Japan.
Yeah, I'm sitting on 5 Regieleki, 5 Regidrago, and some of these are remoted. Here you go, caught in the raid. Doesn't even say elite raid.
Yeah.
But like I was saying at the top of the show, this just proves that everything that comes out in this game, Fragment, Pikachu notwithstanding, comes back around, right? So if you can't get it on day 1, if you're patient, I'm not patient, so I'm not going to front, but if you're patient, the stuff will come back around. You'll have another opportunity. You'll have another shot at it. So, yeah, the Reggies coming back. Let's see what else we got here. Kanto starters coming back to Tier 1 Dynamax raids, which is kind of cool, along with Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble. The Max Monday events will be kicking off with Charmander and then Drillbur being the new release, which is going to be pretty exciting on November 18th. And then Bulbasaur. 5-star raids, this is where things really get spicy. There's a lot going on with raids through November. Lugia coming back, and then Origin, Dialga, Palkia, Zacian, Zamazenta, Regieleki, Regidrago. This is a huge month for rating. Huge month for rating. If you did not play over GoFest and you didn't get your Origin...
Mostly because of Palkia. It's mostly because of Palkia.
Dude, so through my normal grinding, Palkia is my go-to. All my rare candy goes to Palkia. If I'm playing Community Day, if I'm out playing, whatever it is, I'm using
with
Spatial
these
Red.
GMAX battles, you got to play a little different. You got to invest a little bit extra.
But now that the shiny Galarian birds are out from Daily Adventure Incense, I've been using Dialga every day when I'm taking my walk on my lunch break, and I'm using my Daily Adventure Incense. And then I'm using Roar of Time and giving myself an hour-long Daily Adventure Incense to try to pick up one of these shiny birds. So I'm finally getting some use out of my Roar of Time Origin Dialgas, which is really good. I did not get the shiny Zacian. I did not get the shiny Zamazenta. I'm fired up. They're coming back. Regieleki, Regidrago, non-shiny. Is this a missed opportunity? Should they have released a shiny, or are they just trying to compensate for people that missed it the first time with elite raids?
I think they're just trying to compensate for people that missed it. Yeah. It's not that exciting. I'm not excited for it.
For the Reggies?
Will I do one? Yeah, will I do one? Maybe. Will I remote one? Probably not.
What about if they were shiny? I'd be all over them. I'd be all over them. I'd be all over them. Aeroblast Lugia, can't go wrong there. And you can Elite TM into that. So if you did have an older one that you're sitting on, drop that Elite TM. Mega Raids, Mega Manectrix, Solomons, Beedrill, Ampharos, Altaria. So we have quite a spread throughout the month of November leading into December 3rd at the end of Max Out. Shadow Suicune. Let's move on from that because no one really cares. I did a bunch of Entei over the weekend, so I can't complain. So here's our events. We've got Go Battle Weekend this weekend. Harvest Festival kicking off in about a little over a week. We know our November Community Day. Simply Groundbreaking is a new event coming. Into the Wild leading up to the Wild area, and then a Max Out finale at the end of November. Our Spotlight Hours, Surskit, Smoliv with the shiny, so that's going to be an exciting one. Teddiursa, Combee, and Joltik. Female Combee shiny is always a chase, so this will be a good opportunity to get in front of a bunch of Combee. And then check out this Raid Hour lineup because you've got some stuff sticking out into here. You've got Lugia for 2 weeks, and then check this out. The week of November 19th, Nihilego. 20th, Tapu Koko. 21st, Origin Dialga. 22nd, Origin Palkia. Then the 27th, you've got Zacian, Zamazenta, Regieleki, Regidrago. I don't like this. I don't want all these Pokemon in the same day. It's going to make it too diluted.
Yeah, that's very, very confusing. Because it's like, oh, hold up. Now I have to go across town to get to the other raid.
Well, like, let's say you want to just focus on Zamazenta. You can't.
Yeah. And imagine if, like, all of them pop up and they're all Regieleki and, like, the whole group is, like, after Zacian and Zamazenta.
Do you remember back in the day when Tier 5 raids would have like 3 Pokemon in the pool and you'd be sitting there waiting for the egg to hatch and then it would pop and you're like, Regice again?
Everybody would just leave. They're like, yeah, no, not doing that.
But November's looking pretty strong. Lot of raiding going on, so pretty excited about that. Squid the Beast in the chat. What up, dog? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody who's here in the chat. Make sure you give a follow, like, all that good stuff. But this weekend is Go Battle Weekend, so if we look back to August 27th's blog about the GBL update for Max Out, you'll see here in the schedule, here it is. Go Battle Weekend Max Out, Saturday, November 2nd to Sunday, November 3rd. Quadruple Stardust for wins. Obviously up to 20 sets, 100 battles total. Free battle-themed timed research. Pokemon encountered rewards will have a wider variance of attack, defense, and HP. So again, you can get some of those more 0, 15, 15 Pokemon, you know what I mean? Something like that. I'm not sure what the floor is. PvPers, please let me know. $1 special research or timed research for 30,000 Stardust, 3 rare candies, and a star piece, so not bad. So the price of a star piece, you're getting a little bit extra. So all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, that's you know, have I been doing a little bit more GBL than I have in previous seasons? Yeah. You know, but I love PvP. I just don't typically do a lot of GBL. I do PvP privately, you know, in local battles and things like that. But let's talk Harvest Festival before we take a break and then come back to Gigantamax. I just want to get through this. I apologize. Brenda Tuttle with the like. Thank you, Mama Tuttle.
My mom is watching this. Mom, hey, how's it going?
Hi, Mama Tuttle.
What is it, like 8 o'clock?
I don't know. But check this out. We got Miltank in the key art here. Adventures abound during the Harvest Festival event in Pokemon GO. Thursday, November 7th to Tuesday, November 12th. Double Catch Candy. Increased encounters for Shiny Pumpkaboo. Mossy Lures will attract different Pokemon during the event, such as Alolan Executor, Snorlax, Pumpkaboo, and Smoliv. And
so there you go. Mm-hmm. That's the trick right there. You want that Smoliv.
Yep.
More
Wild Encounters. Yeah, well, the shiny, man. The Wild Encounters, Oddish, Execute, Hoppip, Sunkern, Miltank, Zigzagoon, Bunnelby, and then your different size Pumpkaboos, along with Smoliv. Super size Pumpkaboo being the rare. Field research, $2 timed research, collection challenges, showcases, web store bundles. I don't know, man. I mean, does this feel a little bit like a filler event?
Pumpkaboo?
Yeah, the biggie one.
Did you just skip over that?
No,
well, it says large size Pumpkaboo, and then it says super size.
Yeah, super size.
So is there like a
that's
quad,
the fourth size?
Triple XL?
No, that's the fourth size. You could have, I think you could have an XXL large size. You know what I mean? I think so.
Because there should be a tiny size, because there's an extra small.
Extra
there's
large.
An extra small.
So
and
funny.
then there's a normal size.
So.
And then there's an extra large, and then there's an extra large.
This to me feels like
I don't know what they're doing.
It feels like a little bit of a filler. A little bit of a filler. It's all about Smoliv, but a little bit of a filler.
Well, really, this gives everybody the chance at a shiny Pumpkaboo. Really,
yeah,
that's what this is all about.
Yeah,
but
and
the chase is the Smoliv.
Sure.
So drop those lures.
Yeah,
go hunting.
Lures.
Play with friends.
Do your showcases. That's how you get your lures.
Do your showcases. I think I just got some for mine.
Daily Pokecoin Bounty Part 3 here, another $5. This is $5 well spent, in my opinion, just for the gifts and all that stuff. It's really nice, but nothing's changed here. So same stuff. Should they just let us buy this once, $15? Remember, like, people were a little salty on that. Like nothing changes here, right? But they market it like it's part 1, it's part 2, it's part 3. Like, dude, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah. I wish they would just say, like, hey, spend this much money. Here you go. You have it from here on out.
Or at the top of the month, top of the season, let us know. Here's part 1, 2, and 3, and this is how they differ. So that way, if you wanted to maybe invest the $5 in one of the months of the 3 or 2 out of the 3 months, you at least know what to expect. Oh, and in October I can get extra candy versus if I buy it in November I get extra XP. I don't know, whatever. But like, let us know.
We just kind of get blindly handed this, like, say, hey, we're doing this.
But after seeing the second month be exactly the same, everyone's like, all right, next month's going to be also the same. So, all right, let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Niantic's community update. We're going to talk about the ban wave that happened and also happened today. We're going to talk about Gigantamax. We're going to dig in. We're going to dig into Go Hub's kind of Kitty went off on GoHub talking about this stuff, so I really loved all her articles on it. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about New Hampshire, and then we'll finally dig into Gigantamax and all that good stuff. You ready to take a little breaky break?
Let's take a break.
All right, chat. Thank you so much. We'll be back right after this. Hi, chat. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Appreciate everyone in the chat. Really do.
Oh, I'm like leaning backwards.
Lean back.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like a good position that I was in.
All right. I'm anxious, dude, so I am ready to come back.
Ready.
Littlest Sparkle saying, good, and you? Look, I'm living the dream. Just living it up. Living it up.
Are you living the dream, or...
Actually, no. That's all. I'm just masking. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And we are back from our break. We've got water. We've got all that good stuff. And I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank some of our patrons. Let's pull this up real quick. I'll read here. I want to take a moment to thank some of our patrons. Huge thanks to our gym leaders, Ben, DJ Wonderbread, Espion Willow, Hall to Counselor, Joseph Kimberly, Maddie G, Mythical Hitch, and Sushi Slayer. Shout out to our newest patron of the week, Tony. Thank you so much for joining up. We appreciate you. And special thanks to our executive producer, Xander, as well as the other executive producers on the network, Monkey Bread and Kate the Cons. Make sure you check out Pokemon Professor for everywhere you can connect with us. Check out all the other shows on the network. Leave us reviews, listen to stuff, see photos, all that good stuff. Everything's up at PokemonProfessor.com. And I'm doing more blogs up there, so check it out. All right.
Check it out.
So let's talk Gigantamax, but we're gonna kind of reverse engineer this a little bit. We all know Niantic's core tenets of the game, right? Exercise, exploration, real world, social interaction. Everything they do, every decision they make, whether or not it applies to any of those three, they're at least a foundational focus of what they're trying to do. I think Gigantamax is something that naturally touches on all of them. And this is why. So, the daily gameplay loop while you're playing through the week, which is rooted in Dynamax, not Gigantamax. I was the first time, the first couple days this was out, I was like, 800 is too low. 1,000 cap, too low. And then as time went on, I started to understand why it's low. It's because they don't want people sitting back. They want people out there every day, traveling to power spots, out there grinding, out there playing, out there exploring. And if the cap was 5,000 and they could just roll their stuff over, they might do one heavy day of gameplay and then sit on their butt for the rest of the week because they have a nice cachet of max particles, and then they spend it all on the weekend when they do GMAX, whatever the case may be. So having a lower cap, for me, is a way to motivate people to get out there to play, because if they want to have the Pokemon required to do these GMAX raids, they have to power them up. And you can't just do this all at once unless you pay. Granted, unless you pay, which we'll talk about that too. But it gets you out there every day. So, Adam, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we still need an increase.
Of the daily amount or the cap total?
The daily amount.
Okay.
And the cap. Both need to be increased.
What are your numbers?
Here is why. Because as we figured out quickly that we need to actually invest into these Pokemon. And in order to invest, you need to use your max particles, which it honestly feels bad. It hurts.
Because it's taken away from your DMAX.
It's taken away from my gameplay. I want to participate in max battles, and I can't because I just spent 600 on my score bunny. Or not my score bunny, my Cinderace. And it just feels bad. It's like, is that really the decision I want to make? And then
It's a tough one.
if I still don't understand like the math and stuff. It makes me so angry. It's like I'll start the day with 30 and I'll think that I hit 7, but it's like, oh, you already collected 800. And I'm like, how? But it was because I battled one and it auto collects, and it just the whole system of that part feels weird. Like it doesn't feel right. Like something doesn't feel right, because I would like to claim my 300, but I can't claim my 300 because I've already claimed 800. Like, at least if I'm walking, let me earn that. Like, let me have that regardless. Or even just that. Just that. If you let me hit 8 and get my 800, just let me get the extra 300. Like, don't hold that over my shoulder like, you've already played the game too much. You've explored too much today. Like, that's stupid.
All right.
That's
I get that.
That straight up is stupid. You've gone to 8 different power spots and explored your area, and you've also walked, and you have 300 that you could grab right now.
It's just sitting there.
Oh, it's like literally a dangling carrot. It literally feels bad. That is a terrible idea. I think, yeah, just forget everything else. Everything else is fine. Just everything else. We don't need an increase. We don't need any of that stuff. Forget I said any of it. Backtrack.
Let me get that 300.
Let me just keep my 300 because I earned it. I walked. I was already, like, you know what I mean? It just feels bad.
All right, so I'm going to pull up my phone here and jump over to the power spots, and here we go. I
didn't even think about that, but that just makes me so mad just thinking about it now that I'm like saying it out loud.
So I've got 300 sitting right there, but I can't take it because I've already got my 800. But so what I'm doing, and what I find myself doing, again, extra layer of, I guess you can call this strategy, is constantly through the day, I'm tapping on my max particle thing to see how many I have left for the day, to make sure that I'm not getting to, I'm only getting to 680, right? Because I don't want to have the chance of interacting with a new power spot.
That's too much. It's too much effort to try to
But that's what I'm saying. It is an effort because I'm checking and it's like, oh, I got 300 left. Oh, I got 200 left. Oh, I got 80 left. All right, now I'll collect my 300. But the fact that it still continues to track your distance.
It lingers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, stop. Even if you increase that, like, what is it? It's like 3 kilometers or 2 kilometers for the walking.
3, right?
It's 3. Even if you increase it to
2.
5. Even if you, I don't, like, I understand, but you want me to explore, I'm exploring, and then you're going to hold it over my shoulders that I explored? Like, that literally defeats the purpose of exploring.
Yeah, so I gotta
like, I would rather go and sit somewhere that I don't have to get up and I can hit 8 power spots. Like, that's what that makes me want to do. Like, that's the better gameplay than walking. Tell me how that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. So I created the tag for GMAX power up, so that way I know which ones I need to power up, because I'm collecting a bunch of these things now. And I'm getting everything to tier 2. I think that's a great place to bring your GMAX Pokemon, to bring them to the table if you're out there with your community playing, to say, hey, look, I don't have non-powered up Pokemon. I've got level 2 moves. I brought this one up to level 40. This is a decent Pokemon. This is a decent Pokemon to use. This one actually has pretty decent stats, 15, 15, 12. So this was a good one. But just the collection process of max particles, it really creates an extra step. And if, it could be, it could feel like semantics a little bit, where you're just kind of in there for no reason, but I'm not mad at it, because I feel more engaged and I'm more aware of what's going on. And it's not like the Go Plus is just going to spin a stop for me. Like, I liken it to, when I'm trying to hold an egg space open for maybe a 7K or something like that, and then I spin a stop accidentally with the Go Plus and it fills it up. Oh, it ruins it. So that makes it tough. Here, it's like I have to click on the power spot for it to actually collect.
Yeah, but I like that's what my thing. Like I'm so invested, and I see a score buddy on my nearby, and I'm like, I gotta go to it, and I'm counting. I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm like, and I don't realize that score bunny that I just ran into battle head first because I need those candy XLs. I'm so blinded. I'm candy blind that that's the 800. So then I miss out on my 300.
Well, and you got to don't forget the extra 20 that they throw in if you haven't interacted with that power spot yet. So that throws off your math also. That's why I worked for 680. I try to get to 680 and then that's it.
Stop giving me bonus stuff. I don't need to show like, oh, Adam, you have 30 max particles. Like, what am I going to do with 30? I need 250.
So let's back up a little bit. So we know that even before you arrive at a GMAX raid, there's much more maintenance that you have to be aware of and worried about.
Correct.
During the day-to-day. I think that is a good thing because I feel more...
I think it's a fantastic thing.
Okay, good. I feel more immersed, right? I feel more immersed in the world. Like I have more agency over what my character, what my avatar, what my trainer is doing with their time and energy, right? I have to make sure that if I'm interacting with a power spot, that I'm going to make it worth it. And I'm going to make sure I manage my max particles correctly. The smart trainers went into GMAX on Saturday carrying over around 1,000 max particles from the day before. If people spent it all on Friday and went into Saturday with no max particles, they missed out on an extra battle. You know what I mean? So there is a little bit more management that you have to do there. That's fine. So let's talk about Fleece King and those that have perspectives like he did. And that's going to be where these things are too hard, so hard that it's insulting, right? And so many people got turned off from that. When in reality, the first raid that my group did in Red Bank, we had 60 people total. So we split off into 30 and 30 for our lobbies. And the first one, we ripped through.
Fair. That's nice of you.
And we did not fail. We beat it right away. First try. Everyone's cheering. It was amazing. It was like 2016. It felt great. Do I understand that this is a rarity? I don't necessarily know how rare it is, but it takes effort, and a lot of people don't have. Okay, DJ Pokemon in the chat says population privilege. I get that. I get it. And I don't take that for granted. But I also empower my community by creating flyers, by creating stickers, by creating incentives for people to come out, by promoting this on multiple social media channels, on podcasts, doing appearances at other events. I do all this stuff to try to gather and build excitement to get people to come out. This is not a Field of Dreams thing where it's like, if you build it, they will come. They won't. Pokedaxy put up a tweet and he was very rational about it, but he's just like, look, I'm in a small area right now. He's like, I put up a tweet, 9 people came, it wasn't enough. It's like, even if you're Pokedaxy, even if you have hundreds of thousands of followers, it's still not gonna, you can't just expect them to show up. This takes a lot more. Littlest Sparkle says not every community has someone to do that. You're absolutely right, which is why we're going to be getting into what we're going to get into with New Hampshire, because that's the first thing I asked Adam. I go, forget the platforms, forget Discord, forget Campfire, forget Facebook. Is there a community leader that's willing to put in the time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears to direct the traffic? And you said no. I said, well, that's square one, because without a community leader, you'll always be splintered. You'll always be spread out. And this will just exacerbate the challenges that are required to get 20 plus people together. So I digress. So the first raids we did, or first max battles we did, 30 people, we demolished it, no problem. 2 to 3 max battles in, our free-to-play players started dropping off, right? They used their 800 from the day before. They used their 800 from checking in on Campfire. They used their 800 that they picked up on that day. They dropped out. So our numbers went from 60 to 40 pretty quick. So then we're at 20 and 20 in our split lobbies. Just because we wanted to try to get as many in as we can. We were trying to move things along. And we didn't want to run into, we've got 42 people here. And yeah, so it was like we had like a lot of people being like, we need 10 people to drop out so we can start a second lobby. Like it was a lot of coordination. But at the end of the day, just to kind of put a button in it, we did a Charizard, the hardest of the three, with 14 people. And I didn't even have, I had a lobby of a party of Gigantamax Pokemon that I had not invested into at all. And there was only a couple people that had the GMAX Pokemon that were investing into it, but we did it smart. And shout out to Scipio Blue, Ken with hair in our community. He goes, we're going to start with Venusaur. It's the easiest. When we get the Venusaurs, we're going to move on to Blastoise, because then we could use our GMAX Venusaurs as our counter for Blastoise. Then once we have our Blastoise, we're going to move to Charizard. We were very methodical about it, and it worked out really well. But again, you need community leaders. You need people directing traffic. And I totally don't take this for granted that not every community has that. I know that. That's the problem. So the fact of the matter is that the perspective of 30, 40 people can't beat these things, they're too hard, in my opinion, it's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. Because we had 8-year-olds with us that were bringing Wooloos in. You know what I mean? They still took up a lobby space.
I was going to say that's where my brother's at. You know, the strongest Pokemon my brother has is his Lucky Phalanx.
Yeah, my son too. He has got a hundo Phalanx,
but invested anything into it.
Right. He's bringing Phalanx. But that's what
his strongest one is. Yeah. So and it's like we've traded. So he has a Sobble, he has a Grookey, he has a Scorbunny. We did a Ghastly together, we did a Phalanx together, and I'm sure when he opens the game, he's mad. Like I'm sure he has extra ones that he hasn't even talked to me about. That he probably doesn't even know if they're 100% or not. So it's like, and anytime I see him, it's like we open gifts, and it's like, do you have the Lucky? No. Okay, let's try and trade. Let's get some. Like that's right now. My biggest strategy is Tuesday morning going to see my brother and trading him Scorbunnies to try to get those extra
that XL.
Candies.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Sure. So a lot of people in the chat, and this totally makes sense, a lot of people in the chat saying, look, some communities don't have enough players to make it work. You're absolutely right. But let's think of the Walmart model. There's a Walmart within 10 miles of 90% of America, which means there's max battles out there that are within 10 miles of 90% of trainers.
That is true.
So what this comes down to is trainers not willing to make the trip 10 miles. Give me a break. Don't complain then. You don't have to go, but then don't say they're out of reach because they're within 10 miles. Then
it'll be interesting to see if people go out for Gigantamax Gengar.
Yeah. DJ Pokemon says there are other countries other than America. You're absolutely right, but we're just using this as an example. Okay. Gross generalizations here. Smite me down. But
you're done for.
Lightning bolt strikes me in the head. What this really comes down to is there's no community leader. So then you have a bunch of infantry, the soldiers, the foot soldiers, the trainers, without a leader, without a captain.
And they're each telling everybody something different. Like, oh, we should start here. We should start there. Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? But there's
no leader to coordinate.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is where I differ. My perspective differs from a lot of others, because that immersion of stuff that takes place away from the screen, off the screen, is what's going to separate a trainer that's willing to be dedicated and ready to go than someone that's just trying to be a fair weather trainer that's going to say, I expect to show up and do this no problem. And if I come to any resistance to this, it's the developer's fault for releasing a product that's not accessible to the masses. And I have
No, but
a lot of problems with that.
The whole thing is like, this was all like, we're all learning. None of us really expected, like there's no instruction manual. We just got these new Dynamax Pokemon and we're just having fun doing it because we're getting it for free and being able to use the max particles and catch that Pokemon and this Pokemon. We're not really thinking that like, oh, there's these max moves, because why would I need to heal? Why would I need to max guard? Why would I need to do that? Like, the only thing that makes sense is to power up my attack. But the max guard
Game changer.
decrease the damage that you take. And I didn't realize that until after I did my Gigantamax battle with Raber. And then I was like, oh, I need to be investing in this. So immediately I started investing into it. So all of my things are level 2 right now. And it's like, I plan on going all the way. It's 100%. Why not max it out? Why not go all the way? It gives you that extra feeling. Like I don't know. I might not get a Gigantamax Pokemon anytime soon, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm leveling up my Cinderace and I'm creating a deeper connection with it versus, it's like not something I expect. I love Delibird. Like all of my Delibirds, I love them. I have 100% best buddy, but like Cinderace is the Pokemon for me right now. Like that is my, yes, I have Phalanx is 100%, but Cinderace, I've invested a whole lot of time, a whole lot of energy, Stardust, XL Candy. And what's stopping me right now is the fact that I don't have normal Cinderace candy. I don't have normal Cinderace extra large candies. So really, it's not even Stardust anymore for me. It's just the fact that I am waiting on max particles and extra large candies and candies in general.
Yeah.
And the only way to get those right now, because like there are score bunnies in the wild, and every one I'm hitting them with the Pineapple Berry. I'm hitting every single score bunny max battle and hitting with the Pineapple Berry and then trying to trade them to get XLs. It is a lot of work and a lot of effort, but the gameplay has to be intentional. We have to be like, it feels more like an RPG. Like requiring strategic planning and teamwork, and it's not just about tap 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 tap, or relying on the Tuwulu that the professor gave us. Like it literally is like we have to actually play the game. We have to play the game intentionally. For the first time, I'm dropping score bunnies in gyms. I'm just feeding
to get candy, right?
The slight chance that I'll get a candy, and you know what? I did. I got a candy, and then. I fed it at my store. I fed it, I think 3 or 4 times throughout the day, and I got 1 candy. So, but I'm all excited that I got the 1 candy. My Cinderace is my buddy. I'm walking my Cinderace to get extra candy. It doesn't feel like I'm pushing that needle very far, but I'm still pushing the needle. And
I agree.
It's just like that's my consuming. It's consuming my gameplay right now. Is like everything is about Score Bunny right now.
So
like Score Bunny candy, sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it. And the chat is popping off right now, and I apologize that if it's moving so fast and there's such, a lot of really good feedback in there, I know. But people saying like, look, I'm in Alaska, I don't have this near me, it costs so much for a plane ticket. Like, dude, I get it. I'm not saying anyone's got to jump on a plane to do a GMAX raid. I'm just saying if your little cousin's got a 3rd-year-old birthday party, there's going to be 15 people there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will go to something if they want it. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get those people together, and that does require immersion in this game outside of the screen. And we need to, like, everybody's complaining about the difficulty, but that's the whole point. This is meant to be hard. It's meant to feel like you earned it. When was the last time you did a Darkrai raid and you really felt like you earned it? Right, exactly.
You didn't. I did one today, and I didn't feel like I earned it. I just felt like I pushed a raid pass and I got it.
But even Niantic is saying
so much effort in
Yeah.
You just have to invest time, effort, stardust, candy. You have to just support and encourage other trainers and to prepare for these tougher battles. They won't necessarily be this tough once we get better counters, once we get more Pokemon in the pool. Right now, we're stuck with a fire type, a grass type, a water type, a fighting type, and a grass type. Or not grass, a ghost. Like, that's what we're working with. So whatever move sets that they have that we can utilize, that's all we have.
I'm
But
I'm building a
once
bite a bite
once we get a fairy
Blastoise.
Pokemon,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, once we get fairy, once we get dragon, we'll have better counters as the game evolves. Just like us as trainers, we need to evolve. Like the game is different, and
I
it's a
love it.
good different. It
I love your
feels
attitude.
so good.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
The
right.
battles, they're pushing us to play with a purpose, and I like you have to think about which Pokemon to use, which Pokemon to make as your buddy to to get more candy. Like, we didn't have a Score Bunny community day, so I'm stuck walking Cinderace. I'm stuck throwing Score Bunnies in gyms. I'm stuck throwing my
Trading
Score
them.
Bunnies in every single max battle that I can do. And right now, all the Score Bunnies I have are at max power spots.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can't trade them. I could recall them, but like, I'm trying to get the candy. I want the candy. That's what I'm after. That's my mode of gameplay. That's my mindset right now.
So here we go.
And just hold on. The last thing I'll rest on, and then you can whatever, is like, I'm just so excited for next year's Go Fest, because it's gonna be like maxed, like
Max battles.
It's gonna be like, it might, and like, just the thing, it may be some trainers' first Gigantamax, because so many people will be there that's the spot that you're guaranteed to get that encounter. You're guaranteed to have 40 people in the lobby, and it's going to be so worth it and so epic. I'm just, all I'm thinking about is Go Fest next year, and how awesome GMAX battles will be, as long as they continue to be tough, because it'll be worth it. And you just have to stick with me on that.
No, dude, I think you have an incredibly positive outlook here. I just think that you're on an island, just like I'm on an island with a lot of the things I feel. I don't think there's a lot of rural trainers that have 0 GMAX Pokemon right now that are okay with it, because they're working towards it. That's the thing. You're definitely kind of on an island there, but here's where things kind of get interesting, right? So I had posted that I wanted to do this thing in New Hampshire, and I'm going to get to that in 1 second. I know we're going a little long here.
It's okay. It's good conversation.
I'm pulling this up. I'm going to pull it up right now. So I put up a tweet that says, Ken has a community of hundreds. Adam has
community
of 3. Let's see what we could do to change that.
Follow along. Number is just like skewed, but you know,
no. How many did you do a Gigantamax battle with this weekend? One other person, right? So I should have put 2. Adam has a community of 2. Follow along with our 6-month project to build a community of Pokemon Go trainers in rural New Hampshire. Here are our plan today. So here we go. I'm going to try to do this from New Jersey, meaning I don't even live there. I don't know the towns. I don't know the geographies. I don't know the businesses. But I want to show a proof of concept of what it will take in 6 months' time to build a community of 3 to a community of 20. That's all I want to do in 6 months, is make 20 people come together for a community day, for a GMAX battle, whatever it may be. I had you invite me to your Rochester, New Hampshire Facebook group, which was dead in the water, but you posted in it, and all of a sudden, a couple people started chatting in it. And I'm like, this isn't dead at all. There's just no one here lighting a fire. So I'm stepping in and I'm lighting a fire. So what does that mean? It means I'm creating a Facebook, a Twitter, an Instagram, a Threads, a TikTok. It means I'm going to create a website, a blog. It means that I'm going to create a campfire, a Discord. I'm going to go for it. to get everyone on board, excited, and engaged. This will be a slow burn. This will be a long time coming. But what ends up happening is communities don't have community leaders, and then rather than empowering themselves, they just take it out on the developer and say, you're making something that I can't do. That's unfair.
Make it remotable.
I have problems with that. I have significant problems with that.
Just
we had our Zoom call on Monday night. Shout out to Mythical Hitch. And Hitch goes like this. He goes, I don't care. He's like, I don't care the flack I get. Anyone that says that they don't have the resources to do a GMAX raid is full of it. And, you know, again, we're gross generalizations here, but I agree to a certain extent. Because
yeah, like I can't do one with just my brother, but I'm not saying that it's impossible. I know that I couldn't get a Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, but keep in mind, like everything in this game, we know it's going to come back. So don't have FOMO. If you want Charizard, you can get, like, if somebody got one, you can trade it. So Ken,
yeah,
you could help your community just by saying, hey, I have a Gigantamax Venusaur. Who wants it? And who am I best, like, lucky friends with?
Yeah.
Like, go in that direction. That's how you can help your community. It's just that simple task of just trading them and helping them get these giant Pokemon that are going to do well without even powering up. And then they can make that decision if they want to power it up or not. I didn't even think about that angle.
Sure, the trading. They're tradable. They're tradable. You can
this whole game has just been like expanded. We're all living in this circle, and Gigantamax is out here, and everybody's like, we can't get there. But it's like, if you as a community open your circle, you can get there.
Yeah.
Just interact with the game. The game is there for a reason. Like,
it takes
utilize
coordination
in game.
But
well, I'm not even saying that in general. The basics, like, you need candy, use the buddy system, use the gym system, use all of the systems available to you, and then use the coins that you get from the gym for more max particles to power up your Pokemon. Like, there's just
Littlest Sparkle in the chat saying very few people are going to do that. New Orleans can't even get someone to be a community ambassador. Look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I had posted this on Facebook. Casa de Cubone, friend of the show, local to Adam, he wrote, "Hey, I'm from New Hampshire," and then as a joke, I wrote, "All right, great. So what you're saying is you're the next Rochester community ambassador?" And he just wrote, "Hard pass." It's like, all right, good luck with your 2-person GMAX raid, then, bro. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying is like
it requires effort. And here's the thing: this is why new trainers are so incredibly crucial to the longevity and success of this game. Not just because they feed the machine and they give Niantic $1 or $2 every day. Not even because of that. Because it brings excitement. A lot of old veterans, old dogs like me, right? There's not many people that still have my degree of motivation and excitement over this game. The old dog players are tired, right? They're like, oh, I'll come out, I'll do a couple, and I'll go home. I won't even get out of the car. Where you might have someone, like, I friend up everyone I can when I'm out doing raids, and it's like I look, and I'm like looking at their stats, and I'm like, oh, this person only has, 3,000 Pokemon caught total. They're never going to send gifts. And then it's like I go best friends with them. And it's just like because they're new to the game and they have this excitement level. We need new people. If you're saying your community doesn't have someone that's willing to step up to be the community leader, you got to find someone else. You got to look to somewhere else. And there's no way
be the change you want to see.
Right, but I'm in no way taking this for granted and thinking that this is going to be easy. I know how difficult this will be, but again, I'm just trying to get 20 people together. I'm not trying to get 235 like Nutley, New Jersey had. I'm trying to get 20. Because the fact of the matter is, you could do a GMAX raid with 15. And it's also important to know that the GMAX raids we had this past weekend were the hardest ones we'll ever have to do. Because we went into them without having any GMAX counters.
Blind. Yep. That's the whole point.
And
then that's the thing. We're learning that we need to invest into these Pokemon to help us take down these bigger Pokemon.
Right. But
once the masses understand that, you won't have people bringing their Wooloos, their Phalanx to something that like not
Dude,
Phalanx, but like you won't have Score Bunnies and
Squovit.
Groovekeys rolling around. Squovit, like I have a Greedent, and you know what I did today? I saw Squovit for the first time in forever. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing
Dude,
it. I don't.
When I was in Essex County, they were forming teams. Team 5, Team 6, who's Max Spirit, who's Max Scar? It was a well-oiled machine, and this doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you have leaders that are empowering their community from the top down and the bottom up. And that's what it takes if you want to engage with this. Now, here's a question. Do you consider Gigantamax battles end game content? Do you think that these are designed for end game players, or do you think that this can be and should be for everyone? Because I think there's
This
a
should
huge
be for everyone.
I agree with you 100%, which is why
And
the
I think
8-year-old
it's
kid
there.
with the Squovit can still join my party and have a good time and get a Gigantamax Pokemon. We don't need everyone to be elite trainers or endgame trainers. We just need people to show up. And that's
as
the
long
challenge.
as long as you've got, your core squad that has, the right counters, you should be all set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like everybody else is there just to support and cheer.
Yeah. Dude, the way Niantic rolled this out, how you have, 120 Pokemon in the GMAX raid, and by the time the raid is starting to end and you got 12 of them left and you have 80 Pokemon there cheering or whatever it may be, it scales because then the meter fills faster. Then you're using more GMAX moves. That's why the tail end of a GMAX battle, those Pokemon last so much longer and do so much more damage because the battles balance heavier towards the end because you're using more actual GMAX moves. Like, this all comes down to community. And what burns my bridges, my biscuits, is when you have people complaining about this, but they won't do anything about it. And great, do whatever you want. Complain all you want. I don't care. But just think that I'm not going to take you seriously if you're complaining that you can't complete a GMAX battle, but you haven't left the house today, or you haven't called someone, or you haven't checked into to campfire. You haven't looked on your campfire map. Like, there's things that you have to do if you want to be an elite trainer. You want to be the best there ever was. You have to do stuff. You have to do stuff. And this immersion that's outside of the screen, some people aren't ready for that, but some are. And that's going to be the difference between a community that has absolutely no organization. Let's call it Rochester, New Hampshire right now. There's definitely people playing. They're just not organized. How is that organization going to happen? It just takes one person. It just takes one person that's willing to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. I'm going to do that, and I'm 500 miles away or however far I am from New Hampshire. I don't even care. But if you're telling me that in April I'll be able to host a community day event in Rochester, New Hampshire, where it's 6 hours from me, and I can get 20 people there, then I don't want to hear anything from anybody ever again about not being able to get people together. Mark my words, because I'm going to be willing to put in the work. And if you're not willing to put in the work,
show up.
Yeah, don't show up. Yeah, I'll be like, I'll sleep in that day or something like that, and there's like 19 people going, "Where's our 20th? Where's this guy Ken?" But it's the Gigantamax. Like, in my opinion, Gigantamax Pokemon. Like how you were so hyped on Dynamax, and I was excited for Dynamax, something else to do. But now that Gigantamax is here, I'm like, this is an absolute game changer. We've got strategy. We've got team building. We've got actual people caring about counters. We've got people teaming up and subgrouping to build strategy within the teams. We've got people, bringing munchkins and donuts out and coffee out, and like they're making it into an event. Like, people are making things happen because it requires immersion outside of the screen. And if you're not ready to do that, maybe you're not ready for GMAX battles. Is
And
that a
that's
bad
okay.
thing?
That's okay. That is
Yes.
okay.
That's
I
my
didn't
point.
get a Charizard, a Venusaur, or a Blastoise. Am I upset about it? No.
Yep. Yo,
I
Dead
literally don't
Superhero
care.
says get
I
pom poms for
honestly
the cheer squad.
I honestly don't care. What I do care about is possibly getting a Gengar.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I already have a Ghastly.
It's
So
gonna
it's
happen.
like, do
Yeah,
I
but
need it?
yes,
I
you do
know,
because you
I
want
know we
that. You
already
got to
went
fill
over
that
this.
GMAX decks.
But I'm just saying, it's not the end of the world. You know? And next Halloween, we'll probably get Eternatus. I don't know how they release that.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't. Maybe that's GoFest. I don't
Yep.
know. But Eternatus has its normal form, and then it has the big giant hand thing. I hope that is like a GoFest. Like, you can't beat, like, it is like very difficult because it
Yep.
isn't Eternatus. That's like within the hand mode. Isn't that like the toughest Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was. I
Lilith
don't know.
Sparkle
Maybe I'm
says, "How do you get the majority of players who don't use any platform to organize?" That's a great question. That's the challenge, which is why you have to go to where the players are. That means if
I
you
see,
know,
and I've been in Rochester at a TCG tournament when there is a Go Fest, and I've seen people walk around, and it's like I know people are in their cars because they're
Yep.
in the
Mm-hmm.
downtown parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody talks to each other. And then there's a group that's walking, and like I see people in their car making loops, doing circles and stuff, but it's like I don't know how you get them all talking.
I gave out 100 of these stickers. This is the Lured Up sticker with a QR code that goes to our website where you can get all the information on all the events we do and all the things we do. I don't know what website people are on. I don't know what platform they're using. But if they get to my website, they're going to figure out a way how to mobilize. And that's what I want to do in New Hampshire. And none of this is going to be easy. And I get it. It's not... you know, people are... He says, people are out there, but they're reluctant to engage, Protect AK says. Yes, you're right. But again... That's okay if they don't want to engage. We just need them to show up. And if they don't show up, that's okay. But it's going to burn my butt when I hear these same people that don't want to show up and don't want to make a call or don't want to grab a friend. They're the ones saying this is Niantic's fault that no one is here doing GMAX raids. Like, oh, I there's a power spot here. What do you mean there's not 40 people lined up waiting for it to happen? There's a lot that goes into this. There's plenty to unpack. I cannot wait for time to go on. I can't wait for Gengar, and who knows? Maybe Gengar will be significantly easier. They're happening in New Zealand and Australia right now, so we'll find out soon enough. But you know, we just got to get people to show up, and I just think that this is so realistically accessible that. The people that want a remote raid and are still complaining about remotes and you know those are not the Gigantamax crowd. They are not elite trainers. They are not. Because to be an elite trainer in this game, it means that you have to play this game as it was intended. Ash Ketchum can't catch all the Pokemon from his bathroom in Pallet Town. You know what I'm saying? He's got to get out there and explore the world.
His mom would help. His mom would give him clean underwear, but it's a matter of if you want to be immersed in this game, it takes more than tapping on your phone. And for 8 years, the game was tapping on your phone. And now it's a lot more than that. It's a little bit different.
Yep. And I love it, and I'm here for it. I'm super excited about it. And whether or not people agree with me or not, I don't care. There's a discourse. There's people talking. There's a dialogue that's happening about this, which is only a positive thing. It's only good stuff. So, I mean, I could go on this forever. But two things I want to touch on before we wrap up, just because we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it. There was a ban wave that went through, unusual activity kind of deal where a bunch of people
weird.
were
Roofing?
okay. So here. Usually I'm the first one that's just like, I won't take anything of these people are saying seriously because they're like, I did nothing wrong. And then you scroll back like, you know, a year on their Twitter and, you know, it shows them, you know, spoofing using a rocker and a, you know, illegal device catcher. Like everything you could possibly go wrong, breaking TOS. But what ended up happening was these were actual false flags. and they restored those people's accounts. Thank goodness. It happened again today.
What happened though? Why? What was it? What was
I
the
don't know.
indicator?
Niantic Cat walked across the keyboard at Niantic HQ and started banning people. I don't know, but that did happen. So that's thing.
Weird.
So it's a live service game. We're an ongoing live fire exercise with this game. Adam, I'm excited that you have such an optimistic outlook. I'm excited that you're okay still not having any GMAX Pokemon because you're working towards it. That just means that when you do get that first one, it's going to be so sweet for you.
Yeah, and I'm hoping somehow I can figure out to get together a group and try and tackle this.
Well, this weekend I'm creating all the pages. I'm creating it all. Rochester's going to be jamming in 6 months. We just got to find an ambassador. We got to find someone willing to step up. And unfortunately, Adam can't be that person because of our relationship with Niantic. Adam can't be an ambassador, but we'll find someone. And if not, we at least just have to find someone who's willing to step up and direct traffic. If they don't want to do the ambassador thing, and Niantic is even increasing ambassador benefits, meaning starting with November's Community Day, if you check in with an ambassador, you're going to get an exclusive timed research that you can only get from checking in at an activation. So things are improving. They're really pushing this, and it's working. So I don't know. But let's wrap it up there. There's so much we could continue going. We're an hour and a half in already, so we're definitely long. This edit is going to be killing me tomorrow. But
no, it'll be good. Just leave it unedited.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so very much for sticking around in the chat.
Thanks to everybody who's responded in the chat.
Incredible activity in the chat today. I really, really, really do appreciate it because it just shows that people care, and this is new. So we're all going to figure this out.
And
we're
just remember, this is a big learning experience for all of us. So even though I'm saying all this stuff, I myself haven't caught a GMAX Pokemon. So hopefully with my powered up Cinderace, I could hold up against a Gigantamax Gengar. Who knows? It's probably the worst counter, but I have it.
Exactly.
And at least I have something that has power ups. Yep. So I'm okay with that. Yep.
All right, chat. Thank you so much. Please check out PokemonProfessor.com for everywhere you can connect with us. You can leave us an email at luredup@PokemonProfessor.com. You can leave us a text, voicemail, call, video, whatever, multimedia, 732-835-8639. It's going to be a great weekend. We're going to get our Gengars. It's going to be awesome. Rochester, I'm coming for you. It's going to be amazing in New Hampshire. I'm psyched for you, Adam. You can, and not for nothing, I've played in New York City. I've played in Red Bank. I've played in Essex County, New Jersey. I've had all scales of thing. I've never played in a true rural setting for more than just a pass through like a community day. So I will be coming out to New Hampshire to get a taste of what it's like. But again, we're going to make it happen because I'm willing to put in the effort. And if you're not willing to put in the effort, that's cool. Just don't blame the developer. Instead, get good. All right. On that note, thank you so much, Adam. Is that a show?
I think that's a show. I could talk for a lot longer.
Maybe we'll do an Instagram live this week or something like that and expound a little bit further on this. But thank you so much for stopping by the chat. Keep training, trainers. Thank you.